Hey everybody, it's me, Carolyn, with my new podcast, Everything Music with Carolyn, and I'm here with Brendon Paredes today in Melbourne at his home studio.
Yeah, how you doing?
And we're gonna learn a little bit or a lot about Brendon today. And what I really want to know, first of all, is how did you start with music? What was your first instance with music?
Yeah.
That got you into the industry?
Sure. I would say back in Long Island, I was born in up north, and growing up in Long Island, I was probably about, I want to say about maybe 14, 15, being at summer camp, and there was a couple of counselors that were playing like the Eagles and some like Hotel California and stuff, and it was just really awe-inspiring, like just listening to these songs. And not only did I, I'll totally put it out there, like I didn't even know the Eagles at the time, so I'm like, wow, you guys are amazing songwriters, like how funny is that, right? And then they took me aside and they started teaching me like all sorts of Brown Eyed Girl and stuff like that on acoustic, but I started real simple, just like most artists, just playing like standard covers, I guess, of learning potential. Yeah, and I had a great time. And then before long, I was the guy playing at the fire pit. What I mean,
wow.
Which is really cool. And then I got into Bob Marley like around 15, 16, and just went crazy with everything that was ever possibly recorded, and fell in love with mostly the island releases, which had horns and kind of like almost like a out of tune stand-up bass from the humidity of the island. It was just the amazing sounds, just organic roots, grassroots and stuff. But that really started me. And then of course, in high school, starting a band and doing metal. I was doing hardcore.
I remember you told me about that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Retribution was the name of the band. It was really awesome with my buddy Rob and Nick, and it was great. We had a great time.
What did you play in the band?
I was a guitarist at the time. Okay. So we did NYC hardcore and played a few shows, which was really cool. And we had like a split that was released with I think it was None of the Above Records, and it was really cool. We did some good stuff. It was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
What got you on the path of actually recording?
Around that time, that was the first time I'd been in a studio when we did the split, and it was really cool. We had a 2-single that was released in Tower Records. Yeah, so I just forgot.
Tower Records.
Yeah. So Tower Records was like a really big accomplishment at the time. I'll see if I can speed up the scenario, but I just remember my brother was like, "Hey man, I heard you got your split released, and I was like, Yeah, I guess like mom had told him, and then basically he had purchased a copy in Manhattan. I lived in Long Island, and I said, hey, I was going to send you a copy. He's like, no, I already got one. So I thought that was really interesting, that it was actually distributed nationally. So it was actually a pretty like big thing for me as a young kid. So I felt like, like I was something, like moving up. I thought I was a rock star, but I wasn't a rock star, but it felt really good. You know what I mean?
Well, you saw the fruits of your labor, and you're like, oh wow, it's in like a music store. That's awesome. Yeah.
It felt good.
I think it's a little bit harder than it is today, where you can just put stuff out on the internet to actually have it distributed and put out in the store. Back then was like, that was hard.
it was hard, and digitally, it was digitally now. Obviously it's like, boom, you put it up and it goes out, but back then it was very antiquated, and they actually burned a CD, graphic, and so on, and inserts, and some of you remember how that was. It's kind of strange that it's actually going away, but I ended up going to recording school shortly after that. My stepdad had done construction for Russell Simmons, and he was in a rap mogul, and I was able to get access to Russell and you know, I was in his house one day, and he said, "Hey, you're Eddie's son, and come over here." You know, he's like, "What do you do?" I said, "I do metal. You know, I rock. I'm a guitarist." You know, at the time I wanted to be a guitarist, and he was just like, "Hey, man," he's like, "You can always be an artist." He was like, "If you really want to stay in the industry, go to school for recording." So actually, from that advice from Russell, which is kind of funny, but yeah, I went straight to ARTI, which is Audio Recording Technology Institute. It's like a trade school, but it was for recording, and it was a wonderful school. And Bill Spears was my teacher, which is really wonderful.
That was in New York?
Yeah, that was actually in Hauppauge, Long Island.
Oh, okay.
So today they're all over. They're in Miami and Orlando and stuff. But I really went to one of the first 3 that were ever around. Now they're all over. But
That's really cool.
yeah, it was really cool. And they taught me analog, reel-to-reel, and digital. So I think it was like the Yamaha O2R was the first digital board around that time. We're talking around a little after 93, 94. So it was like a hybrid of digital and analog. So I actually learned on like 3 different mediums. It was pretty cool. And they did MIDI and production and stuff like that. So it was a great school. And then after I graduated there, shortly after, I met my darling better half wife, and then we moved to Florida, and eventually, obviously, 3 years I think we were here. I worked at Sea Ray Boats, so I was hustling, building boats and stuff, but started Studio 101, and Studio 101 for 24 years, just been an amazing ride, like just meeting the most beautiful people. I think I got to the end of it.
Well, I mean, and since you started, you've influenced a lot of musicians from back, you know, and you've including myself, and you've always encouraged us and
oh, you're awesome,
and taught us so much stuff, and you were like so patient. I know with me and everybody is so patient. Yeah, remember that solo?
Yeah. You from the first time I met you. Yeah, the first time I met you. Do you remember the first time I met you?
I think so, yeah, because I called you up and I found your number in the phone book.
You were in Lady and the Tramps.
I was in Lady and the Tramps. Yeah.
You were going, I think, to a dance with your mom, or.
I was. So there was the Greek festival.
A Greek festival.
Yeah, and it was just up the street from Studio 101.
Yeah.
And I stopped in.
You stopped in this velvet black number. And I was just, I was like, wow, she dressed up to come to the studio. Because you see that sometimes, with people, which is, I have stories, but you were just, this particular situation, you just happened to be going somewhere. But it's, I made a joke, whatever. But you started playing your songs and stuff. Like, I threw a guitar right in your hand. I just wanted to see where you were. And it was awesome. And I just saw you doing punk rock and you were doing Palm Chugs. Do you remember?
No.
Yeah, well, you were doing Palm Chugs and you were doing punkish, like, kind of
was I doing that?
Yeah, it was great. I was just like, cool, because around that time, I was playing Pseudo, I think around that time with the Raw Tones.
Yeah,
and so
you were playing bass for them, right?
Yeah, I was playing bass, filling bass at first, and then they just kind of adopted me. Yeah, the bass player never showed up. So I just filled in, and then eventually they actually brought me a gift, which was a bass, and I joined the Rotones, and I loved them. It was such a great experience doing punk rock in Brevard County and Fort Lauderdale and Orlando and all that. My brothers, great stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know you love that.
It's great. Yeah. It was wonderful. I never got to play with Lady and the Tramps though.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if we ever get the band back together.
Yeah, we do a reunion, right? That would be cool, right?
You can come play with the Dawn Patrol.
Dawn Patrol's awesome, yeah. we do 80s, like, trashy punk rock, but in a good way, not in a bad way. When I say trashy, I mean, it's just like, gutter.
It's like raw.
Gutter punk, like really beautiful vocals from Ryan. Just great stuff. But, I never got a chance to play with you guys. But you guys are great. There's so many great bands that were in, as you know, in Brevard County,
Oh, yeah. And you've had an influence on, like, so many of them.
I love you for saying that. I really just love everybody that was obviously just good people. I vibe with good people quick. and then low maintenance friend forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because I do what you do. You know what I mean? A little different, but you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, but you obviously love what you do. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you start doing music?
How did I start?
I'm interested, yeah.
Well, let's see. I kind of just started like when I was done school, when I was done FIT and I graduated.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, now I have time to do this. And I always wanted to have a band and everything. And then I started going to open jams. Like I went to Bruce Marion's open jam first.
Bruce is great. Yeah.
Yeah, for Marion Music. And I started finding other ones and just tried to get used to playing in front of people.
Yeah.
And
so you started by yourself. You were doing like acoustic things by yourself.
Yeah. And then I just started getting to know people and started playing with random people and getting used to playing with other people besides me. And eventually I met Ricky Carroll and kind of in a roundabout way. That's a whole other story.
No, I'm interested. I know you kind of wanted to interview me, but me personally, knowing you for as many years, I mean, we've known each other for a couple of years now. So it was really actually interesting to have this opportunity even to ask you, because I never knew, like, you know, the transition from my guest when you started playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess, because I was just doing open jams and trying to find people that would play with me.
The first band was Lady and the Tramps?
First band was Lady and the Tramps. I did play a little bit with some other guys at Bruce Marion's open jam that I met there.
Yeah.
And that's when I first started playing with actual people besides myself. and I had somebody else playing guitar and drums, and we played a few, like 2, 3, 4 songs for Bruce Marion's open jam.
That's cool. Where did he have his open jams?
It was at the bowling alley on Derry Road.
That's so cool. I never went to it, so I love Brevard culture in general.
Yeah.
I think around that time I was doing, like, I was getting the Little and these other really awesome people were taking me to, like, Tabernacle. And, like, I don't know if you ever heard of the Tabernacle. No. Yeah, there's different scenes at the time. So there there's a church, that used to do hardcore events and metal.
Way.
Yeah, it was great. Rachel and Maurice and, like, all these old school, like, I say old school for time now today, you know, but they were wonderful, just...
Where was that?
So I want to say it was off of Croton or down in that area. I'm probably wrong by a block.
Okay.
But I just remember going there and it was just incredible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was my first taste of an unorganized culture. It was just organic. Like, you know how things go viral, like on the internet?
Mm-hmm.
This is, if viral could be just in an organic sense, this is what that was to me. Like, I just saw just beautiful walks of life from all different patterns coming together, converging for just the same effect, which basically to experience live art, you know. And it was beautiful, you know.
Oh, that's
Jason Choi and, like, wonderful people like that. Different scene, like, you know.
Right.
But the Bruce, wonderful man, came through my studio a couple of times in the rehearsal aspect and he was really just gentleman, gave out guitar picks to everybody. You know,
he did?
Yeah, he had a
that's
sack
cool.
of guitar picks and gave them out to everybody. He was really just a nice guy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I just remember getting some equipment from him in reciprocation, because he was on the other side of town.
Yeah. It was like, it was still Melbourne, but it was south, like Palm Bay Road.
Far from me,
It's still now Palm Bay. He still has his store.
He
and he still has his band Swamp Fox.
Swamp Fox forever. It's like definitely a home staple there.
I actually played a few times in that band.
Did you really?
Did
you really?
I did. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Just a few times.
Did you do like Harley Davidson or?
We actually is it the Camp Holly?
Oh, Camp Holly. Yeah.
That's the one I remember.
I've never played there. I've never been there, but my buddies, the Shrednecks, used to go there all the time. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool, and I think
really
they've updated it like years ago. It was like even like newer, you know, so it looks nicer too.
Yeah, for all my redneck friends, Camp Holly's the place to go. You know what I mean? I just want to say that. If I can say that without sounding like mean, I love my redneck friends. So I do. So, but
I mean, airboats, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if you like guns and you like outdoors and gator meat, yeah, which is great. So
yeah.
But Camp Holly's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you actually did Swamp Fox at Camp Holly?
Yeah, I did.
How'd it go over? Good?
I think, you know, it was a cold night and there wasn't so many people, but you know, it was fun, and you know, we did what we practiced and stuff, so it was cool. Like a whole different set of musicians and stuff, you know, more on the countryside, you know, which was cool. So I mean, playing with different people in different facets gave me a wide knowledge or familiarity with being able to play like a lot of different stuff, which is what I have to do now in my band.
For sure.
I guess the best way to put it, we're kind of like human jukeboxes in the sound too.
Right.
We have to be able to, you know, people like, hey, can you play some country? Can you play some blues? Can you play punk? Can you play rock? You know, so since Lady and the Tramps, that was just punk. We started out as like skater surf punk.
Yeah.
And then kind of got more mainstream, so we could get gigs.
So you keep the bar full, right?
Yeah. So, and then quickly learned that for longevity and to get gigs, you know, you have to know a lot of different stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
they put restrictions too as years went on, like coconuts, and you're not cornholing any of these places, but they would be. They basically they want to know your set list. So your set list was basically inspected, and it wasn't really dictated what you had to play. But if you weren't playing what maybe they wanted,
you didn't. Yeah, because one time we did audition. Lady and the Tramps did audition there, and we played a whole show. We were like so excited.
Yeah.
And
I love playing your coconuts.
I do. And we, you know, I would now with, you know, they Dawn Patrol, you know.
Yeah.
But for punk. And we were there, everybody's eating the dinner and playing phone.
It's not a good ambient backdrop, yeah.
That's probably like, I don't know what made me think that was a good idea.
Right. In hindsight, right?
And I'm like, why did they ask us back? I'm like, hello.
Yeah.
You get, you know, people are trying to eat dinner and stuff and want something more melodic, you know. So, yeah, and that's how, you know, I've evolved into what I do now. You know, it's kind of learning the necessity around.
I think you're feeling it out. I think you're feeling it out just great.
Yeah. Thank you.
The
it's
production
kind of a process.
Yeah, the whole production of your performance is there. Like from aspects of just sound quality to the players to the content to even the performance. You know what I mean? Like you could see it. I've seen it. Do you know what I mean?
When you've seen me from the beginning, pretty much. Yeah.
It's really cool. I've seen that with a lot of wonderful bands too. You know, from Kyle to everyone.
Well, and that's how I met Kyle, was through you.
Yep.
Kyle from Lydia Can't Breathe. Yeah. And he also owns Biffum Audio.
Yeah.
They do all my sound all the time. And
Kyle's the man.
Kyle's the man.
Yeah.
And all his guys.
Yeah, and all those guys. Yeah,
Ryan,
for sure.
All of them. Yeah. Shad. Yeah.
They're wonderful.
They all do an awesome job. So, I've met so many people through you too, and then Flo too. I've met her. And
she's wonderful. Yeah. Great friends.
Aaron. Well, I knew Aaron Pearson before, but Aaron.
Aaron Pearson's great. I love Aaron.
Yeah. So many people, like countless. I could go on and on and on.
Yeah.
But yeah, you helped me a lot, teaching me my songwriting, like help it when I brought in songs to record and stuff, and how to do solos properly, which I also learned from Buck Barefoot.
Yeah, Buck was great.
Yeah.
Buck was awesome.
Yeah.
Buck is like a cowboy. He's
totally. He's even got the name.
Yeah. He's awesome though. He's like a man's man. He's a good dude.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But yeah. So thank you, Brendon.
You're awesome. Thank you so much for even giving me so much credit. And honestly, it just being where I was and meeting all these different people, it wasn't like a contrived or trying to make everything was organic, is all I can say. Everything was natural, and it was so cool. And if, honestly, I knew people that maybe I knew wouldn't vibe with you, I just never mentioned them. You know what I mean? Like, if they had different views and things. But all the people who kind of vibe and melded, and sometimes they didn't, but for the most part they did. And I think the scene got big, and it's really big now. So like, I thought there was really distinct, like there was like bluegrass, there was like R&B, there was obviously a wonderful rap community in Palm Bay, Cocoa, the 321, all that. So it was just such a great meld what I got to witness, and I had the ability to work with all of them, and which was really cool because when I started hanging out with Kyle, we started throwing Spinning Records, which was our pseudo label.
That's right, yeah.
And we all our concerts were based on pulling everyone together. So like in the Brevard County, we tried to pull in rap with rock and do it on the same stage, and like you could say it's nothing new and people do it everywhere else, but it really wasn't happening in this town. And we took it to the radio station, and for about a year and a half we had a radio station at JFP in Cocoa, and we had Spin Records, basically a radio station, and it was basically we basically played all styles of music, so it was really cool.
Right.
We always tried to do that and push that. We tried to get into King Center, we didn't have any luck, but we got into the Hennigar and did different things and stuff, so with different avenues. But anyway, we were starting to spin out a little bit, but I guess I was just being so gracious, or happy rather, that everyone got together and got along. Yeah, so like, have you ever been to one of our rock shows?
I don't think I've been to one of your rock shows.
Yeah, you're probably working that night, right?
Probably, yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're busy.
Yeah.
I already know. So, but that's how it is with me, because if like a lot of people ask me,
shows,
how many times have you asked me to come out? And I'm always working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so I get it. But once you really get it, you understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah. No, you know how it is. You know.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Kyle too. So he's working Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But you're wonderful. You're one of my wonderful long-term friends that I know if I call you get back. And sometimes people are just too busy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you always find a way to get back, and so does Carl and everything. So it's really wonderful stuff.
Yeah, you do too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same, of course.
Yeah.
Right, things have changed for me a little bit, but I'm super happy to still be in the field, and I've definitely got some really wonderful projects to possibly come out later on in the year and stuff with music videos and stuff.
Oh,
got
cool.
like 7 music videos coming out. We
Nice.
got a documentary and then possibly a new movie, but we'll see how it goes. You
Right.
know what I mean, with the way things change and stuff. And
Well, that's another thing. Like, you started off strictly recording
Yeah.
audio, and then you evolved into doing movies, like
videos,
videos,
yeah.
and then you're working on a movie right now, right?
Yeah, we just finished a movie, backed by popular demand, and it's written and executive directed by Flo Logan, which was one of the women that you mentioned earlier. Yeah, that should be released. Probably, I think the airing at the Oaks is going to be March 6th.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's really soon.
So yeah,
Oh,
it's going to be a dual theater release. So we have 2 theaters for just that showing.
oh wow.
And it's a private party, and it's going to be photographers and everything. It's going to be really cool.
Well, that's been a project long time in the making.
Yes.
I remember you talking about it a few years ago and stuff. And
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome. So it's finally like it's ready to go.
yeah, we're ready to go. And then
That's awesome.
after that, I think we'll have another 2 screenings, because like it's funny, if you try to get on Netflix or you're trying to get in Tubi or any of these streaming platforms, you have to have a certain amount of actual airings in movie theaters before you can even make it there. I think it's like 6 or 5. So after you do these kind of like shows and stuff, you can actually officially get it on those platforms. And then it'll just be on TV for however long, I guess, for whatever they'll carry it for. But it's super exciting though to complete a movie full length. It's a 2-hour movie
Wow.
with a bunch of actors and actresses and locations, and it was really exciting. My first one, so
Yeah.
yeah, it was
That's quite an accomplishment.
it was
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah, it was
Right.
super cool. I tried to get you in it.
Oh, you did?
I did. I asked you at the time. I said you want to be an actress there.
Oh.
You were busy.
Maybe I was playing.
Well, you were probably playing this, right? I did. No, we needed some, not main role, but we needed some extras and stuff for stuff. But I knew you were busy, so it was okay.
Yeah, I don't specifically remember, but I can imagine the scenario.
You would have been in the club scene. We had a club scene where everyone was dancing in the club, and they were performing on stage, and there was basically a crowd that we needed to fill up and stuff. But a lot of people came, and those people ended up getting casted in other parts for the movie. It was all independent actors and everything, so it was really wonderful.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
I remember I did. You asked me to come do something on a music video you were doing or something.
This one in particular, I think for the movie, it was definitely to be like in the crowd dancing and stuff. We definitely needed ladies to kind of, because we had probably an abundant male scenario. We just needed some ladies in there, too. But it worked out. We did studio magic to fill it out. We had enough people, but we were trying to get you in there. But there's many other videos we tried to get you into. I'm pretty sure.
I know I did one. I think it was a rap video or something.
Well, Game Changer Music. You did our intro to our rap video. Yeah, for Two Pistols. Yeah, we recorded Two Pistols and did a single, and actually with South Elm Click, Two Pistols, and a couple other artists in there. It was amazing, and we had you. Remember, it was with the gun.
With the gun, yeah.
And you had a Paisley outfit on.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
It was almost James
It's still on the internet. You can still find it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I gotta
Matter of fact, you should probably tag.
Okay.
I'll tag you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or send me the link or something.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. Wonderful art in that. Yeah, we did the beat, we did the production, we did the video, and the artists just volunteered their talent to do it. So we were trying to make demos for what our capabilities were at the time, and it was really cool. So yeah, great times. Yeah.
Nice. And shift gears a little bit.
Yeah.
What is your favorite equipment to work with as a recording engineer, or has it changed over time, or?
It's a great question. If I'm doing guitar, just like a good pre, like a really good pre to help the mics kind of bite up. I use Vintech. This Tube Tech. There's so many different wonderful pre's that you can use, compressors as well. But I just like a good pre, capturing anything, whether it be a violin or it being, even a banjo. Just a good pre can kind of pull the character out of the instrument. The best thing to do is when you're going to record something, and this is just me, you guys do what you do, listen to the instrument. Just sit in front of the instrument, and that's why I always tell the artist, play it, just play it. I need to hear what the instrument emotes naturally, right in front of me. And then once I kind of assess where it's lacking, where its great attributes are, whatnot, I can incorporate that with maybe manipulation pre, or just capture as is and do post. But for the most part, I do like to capture a little better than what it is. So I will listen to it and kind of assume or make assumptions as to how it might sound better if I do this and that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now I'm not fixing anything. I'm just kind of making it a little better, almost like a little blush or rouge if you're talking makeup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just a little bit of embellishment, but I would say a good pre would be nice. Whether it be an Avalon or whatnot.
Okay. That's your main go-to.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
For sure.
Do you have a process like that when an artist comes to you and says, "Hey, I want to record this song"? Do you have a process you go through of hearing it, like you said, hearing the instrument first, but hearing the song first, and then you're like, okay, I think I'm gonna use this pre or this, or have them recorded on a different amp or something? Is there a process you go through when you're like, okay, I'm gonna record this song and this is what I'm gonna do? Yeah.
I say my best process first before I even get to pre's, I gotta hear the song. I just gotta listen to it. I have to hear what your intentions are and how you're trying to get it across, dynamically, emotionally, on the structure of just the songs. The lyrics almost will hit me at the same time, but they're almost a different, obviously someone comes to you with something that's very close to them, you don't want to jump on any of the heart connection scenarios, but you're trying to assess, like, is this coming across good, the best way it can be. I just like to hear it first, and then instantly, if they're set in stone and this is exactly how they want it, like note for note, word for word, everything, then I maneuver to the other scenario, which will be preamps and so on, and also order of capture. It's interesting because sometimes you have a really tight drummer, sometimes you don't have a tight drummer, sometimes you have a tight guitarist, sometimes you don't have a tight guitarist. So you also would like to capture everything so it complements everyone correctly in the right order, and stuff. I always like to get drums and bass as a rhythm section down first, with a scratch guitar. And once that lock on that rhythm is down, with that kick, snare, and drum, just really like lock with the bass and so on, or keys, and basically then the guitarist has the ability to phrase off of it a little bit,
Right.
and also lock with it when they want, and then also live vocals always seems like a good idea when you're trying to capture a live capture of the rhythm, but it always gets enhanced when you get to really just practice to what's there. Because prior to it unfolding, a lot of people say, oh, it's great, it's the heat of the moment, whatnot. I really think though, if you take a piece that's pre-recorded and you get to kind of vibe it, you can really play with it on a level that you normally wouldn't have. So I think though that track rhythm, send it home, let the artist stew on it, kind of play with it, start to develop like a delivery feel to it, and then bring it back. And even if it's so minutely changed, just because they got a chance to look at it from a different perspective other than just spitting it out live, I think it's always ahead, like I think, and it's also formatted so that the artist now has a better format. And I think there's no better feeling than when a song is formatted verbally, with breaths, with actual tone, with pitch, and they actually perform. Now they can actually enjoy what they're doing. They're not struggling through it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because they have something to work off.
They're not constantly like, oh my god, I gotta hit that note. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just there, and like a glove, it just kind of instinctual.
Right.
Yeah.
It just kind of all comes together.
Yeah, for sure. That would definitely be my process if I did answer your question. I know.
Yeah. Because I'm sure there's many ways to do things in what you do.
Yeah.
And I think everybody has their own way of approaching it.
No one's wrong. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of just what you found over time works with everybody in your specific scenario.
My way. Yeah.
And whatever kind of artist you're working with too.
That's a great. Yeah, that's actually great too, because there's certain artists. It's really interesting you say that. Certain artists, they have to do it this way, a way, not necessarily this way, but a way, and you just have to respect that. So, and with that being said, I'll buy it, no problem, without hesitation. Really, like I almost like it, because I'm fulfilling what you need. You know what I mean, and that makes me happy. But then there were other people that almost, if they do take your guidance, they feel happy at the end because it was guidance. It's interesting. It's certain people, like you said. Yeah.
I'm sure a big aspect of recording people and doing what you do is kind of being intuitive to people and being able to read people and kind of seeing what their process is and kind of feeling people out too. You kind of have to be able to, because sometimes somebody just doesn't know how yet or something, you're good at reading people to see how to get them through their process.
I try my best.
Which is cool.
It's hard. A lot of people, it's funny, they don't know what they want, but they know what they don't want. And that's the biggest problem with most artists. So, and that's fine. So now, in a genuine way, like I said, it's not contrived or it's not malicious or anything. Like, I genuinely try to connect with people so I can get closer to what they're trying to tell me. And when that journey starts, there's a friendship and also a trust and also an energy that is transferred and also a vibration or frequency is better said that we can connect on. You know what I mean? And once that frequency is consistently connected on, there you have it. I think there's no better way to call it. That's how I say I have my musical family. That's my family. Like there's no closer. You know what I mean? Like if you really think about it, how we interact as people. Like I do it through a subject matter, which is creation of music or sound or video or whatnot. But really what it comes down to is that interaction is really the definition of family on the most, you know, if you think about your family and you think about just even working with people on that level, it's the same. You know what I mean? So when I say it's my musical family, I really mean it in a sincere way. It's like, yeah, I really vibe that person. And then there are people that are so dark. Oh man, let me tell you, yeah. But yeah.
You just do your best, like you said.
Yeah, I had this one guy came in and he had blood encapsulated all over his acoustic guitar, and he had put wax on top of it to keep the blood on the guitar, and I couldn't get past what he created. You know, like, you know, the guitar was black and actually had a metallic smell to it. He bled all over his guitar and then encapsulated it in wax. And
it had a smell to it.
Yeah, I didn't even think. I think it was like almost borderline biohazard, not safe, because it was like rotting blood. You know what I mean? But
wow.
Yeah, but I've seen.
You've seen some stuff.
I've seen some stuff, and I you know, I was so puzzled. I tried to connect so much, and I could not connect with that dude as much as I tried.
Yeah.
But it was just in such a. He was coming from a really strange place. You know what I mean? And but I tried. I tried to do what I could, but yeah.
Yeah. And I've heard a lot of your stories. I haven't heard that one yet, but
Yeah, that's a true story. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've worked with some like heavy hitters in the industry too, like Pat Travers and.
Pat Travers, awesome. Yeah, what a great opportunity there. I love that guy.
David Pastorius.
David is wonderful. Yeah, some really cool things. I mean, I think some of the coolest things was, you know, going on tour, like and you know, with Kyle and just seeing the road and the different show places, the Whiskey Go Go and the Marquee in Tempe, Arizona, just amazing. You know, Ace of Spades in Sacramento, California, just driving all over, you know, and being out there. I've really been spoiled, like, you know, and at the whole time, my wonderful wife supporting me. I have a baby, you know, I know he's growing up, but I mean, I really just had my cake and ate it. Like, it was just incredible. Like, I just experienced so many things, going to Grammys and going to NAMM,
right?
And you know, in the middle of all that, I worked on Bob Marley's last concert. I mastered and transferred his last concert. Like, Bob Marley's last concert, you know, came through the studio on reel to reel, and I transferred it, you know, and then flew to like Universal Studios, and there was a huge deal made for the selling of it. It was just like, there was a lot of really crazy stories, you know, that went on, but just an amazing explosion of what you can dream, and just fun things. Like I really so grateful, like, you know, yeah, especially you know, you've seen it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you tell me all the stories, the Grammys, the tours, the stories from there.
Kyle made that whole thing possible. Like, he gave me, he flew me down there and everything. It was awesome.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
You've done some really cool things and better part of some
great friends, right? Yeah.
Who are you currently working with now?
So right now I'm working with Sun Shower Dispatch, which is a really awesome band, super up and coming, brand new. They just played their first show at one of Kyle's and Blind Anxiety's James Cripps event. So they saw you on the wall at the studio. There's like these two pictures you get dropped off. Yeah. And so they used to run for good luck before they sang and stuff. But funny. Yeah, they're really good guys, and they were like, "Yo, you know, maybe we can get an interview with you and whatnot." So I had to drop their line. Yeah, they're super cool dudes. Yeah. And they're coming up. Hopefully, they get on another show at Winfield's through James. and Kyle, of course. It'd be great. Yeah.
What kind of music do they?
So they're like metal. They're like metal
okay.
rock.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're heavy.
So yeah, that's why that's one of Kyle's shows is metal band. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be great if they can get on another one back to back. That'd be so cool. And they're moving forward, but we're mixing their songs right now. All 100% original. Just great stuff. And they actually tracked in Daytona, and they brought all the files down here. So we're mixing it here at the house, and it's just so much fun.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they come in like twice a week, and we just, they're eating donuts and just having a great time. So it's really
that's
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Super cool.
We'll have to get an interview with that.
Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, Killed the Messenger too. Like I think we're getting ready to start mixing on their album too, which would be really cool. And it's not Killed the Messenger. It's actually Satellite Killers. I'm so sorry I said that, Bob. Yeah, it's so funny. For years I've just called him that. So, but it's Satellite Killers, which is an amazing band with some really good friends and stuff. But yeah, I've been doing that, and then of course final touches on the movie, which is really exciting, and then just been busy with that stuff.
I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a
keep
lot.
busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Well, if anybody wanted to get a hold of you, if they wanted to record with you, how would they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so my number's out there for most people. I don't advertise really at all, ever, but just word of mouth and stuff. So, but my cell phone, I'm sure if you ask some people and if they know me, then I like good people. You know what I mean? So.
And you're on Facebook all the time.
I'm on Facebook all the time. Yeah, Brendon Paredes. Yeah, just contact me, hit me up. Just good people. If you have good energy and you just want to do art, I'm here for you. I love it, and all day there for that. So. Yeah.
And he is awesome to work with.
Yeah.
Really relates to people and helps you along. And I love Brendon.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you so much for helping me through the years.
Yeah, thanks for having me on All Things Music. It was
great.
Yeah,
yeah, thanks for being on it. Yeah, appreciate you. Yeah. Well, everybody, hope you enjoyed our interview with Brendon. Thanks for joining our podcast, and we'll see you next time. Everything Music with Carolyn.